Last year, we told you the story of a woman who was diagnosed with melanoma cancer and given 2 years to live. I visited with her to find out how she's been doing since then and how she is moving forward since her diagnosis. That's the sound of Elisa Magana playing her violin, just 2 years after receiving a diagnosis that would change her life. In 2018, Elisa had a mole that she had checked out. The mole was removed and it ended up being stage 2 melanoma cancer. 2 years later, in 2020, she started noticing that she couldn't walk very well.
My entire L3 vertebrae had turned into this huge tumor. I had cancer all up my spine, my pelvis, just everywhere, 2 tumors in my brain, but it had spread through my bones, and melanoma normally goes through organs and things like that, but mine spread all through my bones.
Elisa ended up in Huntsman Cancer Institute in Salt Lake City, where they hospitalized her for a month.
But I think it was just so devastating when the doctor came in and said, "You have 2 more years." It was at the height of the pandemic, and I couldn't really see my family. Hardly anybody could come into the hospital. And then I was just basically alone in the hospital for a month. And, I could get a visitor once a day for about an hour, 2 hours. But I was alone just thinking, wow, this is what I'm facing right now. And yeah, just a total shift of perspective.
Now Elisa is in stage 4 of melanoma.
The treatments are pretty brutal, a lot of nausea and just feeling really sick. There was a point where I had lost so much weight. I just felt really frail, and that's when it can get really scary, is when you start losing so much that your body just can't fight anymore.
But despite what she goes through with treatments, she finds little miracles along the way, such as a rock on her front porch with houses and music notes painted on it.
I tried to play it, and it was You Raise Me Up, and Mike and I just, after I'd played it, we just both got tears in our eyes.
Elisa has 4 children and her husband Mike, and leaving behind her family is what she fears most, even over the fear of death.
I just want to make sure that the moments I have, especially with my kids, that they're good moments. And then I've even started blogging into the future. So actually, 10 years from now, blogs are going to post so my family can read them. And I'm hoping they'll have a whole year of posts they can read from me, even if it's just a couple of paragraphs of me saying, "I love you. I can't be here, but I love you."
Elisa has written several books over the years, but her latest one is about her journey with cancer. It's called 2 More Years.
I almost feel like one of the reasons I got cancer was so that I could write about this to help other people, maybe help gain perspective or see how you can remain positive despite no matter what you're going through, because everybody has something hard they're struggling with.
But she says despite everything, she's continuing to fight the battle.
I've always been so positive, but I just hope that cancer will never take that away from me, that it won't define me, that I'll still stay the same. I mean, when you're facing death, it's hard because you think, is this going to change me? Am I going to die in a way that my family would be proud of? And you just want to, maintain that positivity and happiness even up until the end, so that's what your family remembers.
And she has a message about the time we spend living.
We all have our purpose. We all live a short amount of time, and we have to decide who we want to be today, not tomorrow, not I'm going to do this later. No, who do I want to be right now? Because that's what we have, is right now.
I'm Deanne Coffin, KPVI, news that works for you. And if you're interested in reading her book, go to the website 2 More Years.